The reason why network marketing works so well is that most people have an easier time trusting a sales pitch from a relative or friend than they would with a stranger in a shop somewhere. The home setting also helps put people at ease, so that a stranger in a home setting has a better chance of selling a product than if they approached a target somewhere else. Because of traditional forms of selling, most people are always on guard and will automatically put off any approach when in certain environments. MLM offers a form of sincerity and openness that makes it possible to pitch a sale when that guard is down and walk away successful. Sell the product. Now, when it comes down to it, you will need a set of instructions to help get you on track. Here's how you begin. 1. Identify your target market. Before you start distributing the products, you have to start by establishing who you're selling the products to. The product you're selling will determine the market you have to deal with, so pick out the right product for you. If you find a company that sells products you can identify with, then that would be a good place to start. 2. Passion helps. You will come across challenges when growing your network, but with proper motivation you can work through it. Some people are passionate about health products and can manage to sell to their networks at high prices regardless of the thousands of health products available at lower costs. Find something you're passionate about. 3. Make use of social hangouts. Find out where your target audience hangs out and join them. By making more friends, you will have a larger pool of prospects to tap into whenever you need to expand your reach. Popular social network platforms are a great place to recruit. 4. Always ask for referrals. If you find you're not making any progress with prospects, it could be that you haven't learned how to use referrals. Talk to people you've sold the products and have them suggest people who would be interested to purchase from you. If you're selling a good, useful product, it shouldn't be too difficult to locate someone happy to offer referrals. 5. Attend relevant events. Whatever approach you have to this business, you have to expand your social network, and that means going out there and meeting new people. It shouldn't be a bore. Most people have fun making new friends and learning about different backgrounds. Try to broaden whatever social structure you have and accommodate more people. Remember, you're not pushing people to buy your product. Instead, you are a fun and lively person with a new product most people would find useful. 6. Throw a party. If you're having trouble connecting with the guys at those events, how about you bring the party to you? Have all your friends and relatives bring their own friends, people you don't know, and let people know about your business. When you leave a party, make sure you have 3 more parties planned. That way you will grow your business faster. 7. Educate yourself. Learn about new and different ways to market your product. Some people are great at direct selling, but aren't too great with computers. Commit some time to learning how different technologies would benefit your new business, and be open to adjustments. If you fall apart every time you try to talk to customers, then perhaps a class on communication would be useful. 8. Remember ethics. This industry is littered with unsavory characters, and these people will do or say anything to land a new sale. You might encounter some pressure while gearing for MLM success, but try to run the business above bar where it counts. 9. Listen genuinely. Telling isn't really selling, and if your conversations fly right past you, then you are not paying attention and you will miss out in the end. Show that you genuinely care what the customer thinks about your products and find a way to connect with them. 10. Share the business creatively. It's true you don't have to sound like a telemarketer every time you mention your business to friends or family. Be creative in how you introduce the business and products, and aim to be invaluable rather than intolerable. Your job doesn't stop when you get enough customers and your own distributors. There's still more to do. Send a monthly e-newsletter to your customers and inform them of special deals and any relevant information about the products. Make sure you keep a contact list and find a smart way to contact people when they go silent for a while. If your budget allows, pay for advertising so your new venture gets noticed. Techniques to following up with your prospects. The follow-up is in fact the most important part of the prospecting process, so you need to give it some thought and time to make sure you get it right. We discuss a number of important points everyone should consider when preparing to follow up with prospects, a process that tells you whether you can form a long-lasting business relationship with the prospect. 1. Sorting them out. We've already talked about how important it is not to grab everyone who shows interest in the team. Just make sure you know why you are taking in a new recruit, because if you know their skills, then you can put them to good use. In this business, you sift and sort, not convince. 2. Edification. When first starting out, it's a good idea to have an experienced upline or mentor to assist you with prospecting and follow-up. If you are meeting someone for the follow-up, it wouldn't hurt to bring along a more experienced member. This will help boost your conversion rate and make you an expert within no time. Before you drag your mentor to your next meeting, contact the prospect and let them know you intend to bring someone to the meeting. It would help if you mentioned some of the accomplishments your mentor has in the industry, and encourage the prospect to ask questions. If the follow-up is done through a phone call, you can ask them to join in on the three-way call. It works just as efficiently. That process of highlighting your teammates' achievements is what's called edification, and it helps build respect as your prospect learns more about your supportive network. 3. Remember what you're selling. Try to recap on some of the basic marketing principles we mentioned earlier on. Unless you're trying to convert existing network marketers, you have to know that your prospects are not really focused on the fancy products or the smooth compensation plan. What they want is a solution to their problems. This is what you need to target when doing the follow-throughs. At the end of the day, that compensation plan is essentially a vehicle the person will use to solve some of their existing problems. When selling a business model, some sales agents assume that prospects want in simply because they can make extra money. While the cash might be a good incentive, it is also important to make the solution client-specific. Find out what that extra money could do for the prospect, and you have a decent angle to work from. 4. In the warehouse we make cosmetics, in the stores we sell hope. Charles Revlon. Because you want to be more effective and succeed better with the prospects, you will have to be more specific when tailoring that solution. For instance, the family may have planned a trip to Disneyland but never got to go, or perhaps the family has been eyeing that perfect dream house by the beach. Whatever the dream is, you need to make it a possibility. This is why you need to know your prospects well. Look out for specific emotional phrases and use them to tailor a fitted response. 5. Leadership. We've mentioned self-assurance and how crucial it is when building the team. It's also important when you approach a follow-up, which is why you need to believe in the company, the product, and the dream it sells. Don't let the questions throw you off. Just stick what the opportunity can do for the prospect, and if there's something you don't understand, it would be the best time to let your more experienced mentor interject. Closing the deal. This is the best part of any business transaction, and more so in network marketing, but keep in mind the relationship doesn't end here, and you will continue to interact with the person long after you get them on your team. The rapport stage is simple enough because people love to talk about themselves, but at some point you will have to steer the conversation to the direction you want. The reason I'm calling you is to ask if you had a chance to review the information I gave you. If they forgot about that, chances are they are not remotely interested in what you're selling. It's one of the processes people use to sort out the masses. If, however, they made time to read the material, then you can move on to the next step. One of the concepts behind successful follow-ups is to make sure the prospect thinks about the positive aspects of the business opportunity, whether those positive aspects are accurate or of their own interpretation. By asking the right questions, you can steer the conversation in the right direction and have the prospect focusing on what's important, that is, the remediation of their immediate problems. Some individuals tend to keep an open mind when faced with new experiences and challenging opportunities, and this makes it easier to sell the idea. Not everyone is built that way, and you will come across rigid people who approach business with a narrow focus. Try not to get rattled when your ideas get challenged. What to expect from the follow-up process. Ideally, you want to get back with that person or couple as soon as possible, preferably within a few days, while the idea is still fresh on their minds. You also don't want them to talk to the wrong people and get some negative feedback about the industry. It would be harder to get them past this if the feedback came from close friends or family. The follow-up process can take anywhere from a few days to several weeks, and in some cases, you can go for months or even years building friendship and the dream, until the time comes for them to join you. General guide. Book the next follow-up at the conclusion of the plan. Ideally, you should follow up within 2 days. You may do the follow-up yourself or have your sponsor assist you. Start by building a friendship with the prospect. Do this by taking a sincere interest in the dreams, the goals, and the daily life. The stronger the friendship, the stronger the trust and respect you will have for each other. Build them a dream. Dreams inspire people and stimulate action. Find out what the dreams are and what their immediate goals are. Train them. Information is very powerful and intelligent decisions are not made in a vacuum. Learning about network marketing will give them understanding, and when they combine that with the realization that the dreams are achievable, a spark will have ignited. 10 ways to build your team and find prospects. For a lot of first-timers, their eventuality is as predictable as it is preventable. The prediction is that most of the recruits will drop out and find something or someone to blame for it. How many times do you hear people say, "It took too much time," or "No one really helped me"? It happens way too often, and this needn't be so. There's a better way for you to build your empire as opposed to going on a step forward, 2 steps back. Now, I am not saying that all you need to do is sponsor 5 or 6 individuals and teach them how to sponsor 5 or 6 more individuals. That's a lousy plan. What I'm saying is, in order to gradually and consistently grow your business, you have to get to a place where sponsoring becomes an ongoing process like eating or sleeping, essentially a part of life. Growing the team. Prospects who go on to build big businesses have one thing in common: they are progressively educated on network marketing, and as a result they become better leaders. A well-intended business idea and all the zeal in the world couldn't compare to a proper instruction plan to help forge the recruits into leaders. Above average success in network marketing requires, among other things, belief in the profession, the business building system, and the fact that you are capable of achieving success. You might be wondering why, if this is all true, and it is, why then do people seem surprised when half their recruits quit for no good reason? We should be systematically instilling this information into the business builders so they don't all quit the first time they hit a rough patch. These 10 points should help clear things out. 1. Aim to help people. A genuine desire to help people succeed is especially important in the initial stage when you're still trying to find a balance between sales and recruitment. It will mean more to your team if what they're selling makes life easier for someone. If people see you genuinely helping, then the responses will be more positive. The longevity and effectiveness of this system depend on how much value you provide and how helpful you are. It's unlike conventional affiliate marketing when the commission comes in. 2. Duplication. After you develop an effective process of selling products and winning people, the next best thing is to find a way to duplicate that process. You will earn based on how successful your team is. So basically, when you train the team and teach them to recruit reps, you earn off a percentage of their results, and this goes on and on. 3. Communication. Some people would argue that the best way to build your team is to communicate constantly. While we can all agree that communication is essential to growth, the more crucial element would be a working system. Put in place a system that works and have the team follow it. Some members will probably need more help before they find their way, and for this you have a host of online tools to facilitate communication. You can make regular Skype calls to give valuable advice on how to build strong teams, and you can use this as your sales pitch when recruiting. Just talk about how your success is tethered to the team's capacity to work as one, and don't forget to mention that you can help them succeed. 4. Work with small groups at a time. If you have people coming up to you at social functions asking to join your team, then by all means, make time for them. Every new person you sign in is your responsibility. They will look to you for structure, instructions, and they will expect you to make them successful. When this happens too often, you might find yourself stretched too thin and your team will suffer because of it. 5. Help the recruits grow. Invest as much time as needed on your recruits and encourage them to use their knowledge to grow. When training them, you will need to go beyond payment plans and the products. Self-development is what's needed in order to see a difference. Offer them tools and resources for training and get them to focus on developing as a unit. 6. Expanding further. At some point, the paychecks and your inspiring words may not be enough to keep the team working at the best. When distractions come in and people start getting lazy, that's when you focus more on fresh recruits. Just as you did with the older guys, train the new guys and try to find that natural skill set which makes a recruit stand out and teach them how to use it. 7. Employ multiple strategies. When training your team, you want them to stick to a system that can be duplicated multiple times and generate results. One of the ways you can do this is to train them to work both long games and short games. These are essentially tactics people use to get immediate, short game, or longer lasting, long game, results. For instance, you can start blogging right away, but it will take time before you see good results. For the sake of creating a more effective system for your team, you need to combine both long and short-term tactics, and your team should be able to roll out a plan and see it through. 8. Sifting and sorting through the masses. When moving your prospect through your prospecting formula, don't be afraid to disqualify them if they fall short of your requirements. Although some people start off completely psyched, not all of them have what it takes to stick it out, so worry about who you devote your time to. You should be looking for smart, motivated individuals who can work together and yield positive results. 9. Use online tools. Because everyone is constantly rushing, at some point you may have to use online tools to keep them busy and learning. Find good ebooks on network marketing and have them refer to these tools when they come across challenges. If they are motivated, they will uncover more tools online to help them grow, and your job will be a lot easier. 10. Social proof. As a professional marketer, you will be required to interact personally with your team as well as new people. It's a way to establish rapport and build trust, and it goes a long way in keeping the team functional. Plan early and keep your time. If a meeting is set to begin and end at a certain time, try to work within that specified timeline. It sends the wrong message when the team can't keep time.